Simply Good, Cooking with Rebecca. Today I'll be making fried rice. This is my mom's fried rice recipe that she learned to make while she was in Korea. We're going to start by getting our rice cooking. I'm using a rice cooker. 4 scoops for my rice cooker equals about 3 cups of uncooked rice. So however you would normally make rice, you want about 3 cups of uncooked rice to go into your fried rice. Okay, so we have our rice cooking. The first thing I'm going to do is chop some scallions or green onions. I'm going to use 2. Just chop those up. Once you have your green onions chopped, you can just set them aside. Put them in the fried rice later. Next, I'm going to there's scrambled eggs in the fried rice, so I'm going to just beat about 5 eggs. You can use more or less. So I'm using 5 eggs. Sometimes I use more, sometimes fewer. It kind of depends on what I have. And that's the only protein I put in the dish. Some people like to put like some Canadian bacon or ham in it. I tend to not like that very much, so I don't add that. So if you're adding Canadian bacon or ham, you might want a few fewer eggs. If it's the only protein in your meal, you might want to up the number of eggs for more protein. Just gonna beat these so they're easier to scramble. Alright, once you finish beating your egg, you can take that to the stove. You're going to want to use a nice large pan so that all of your cooked rice and all of your ingredients get cooked up in here. You're going to use a full stick of butter for this recipe, but for this part, I like to butter the pan so my eggs don't stick. So I'm just going to use a little bit of that. So you just want to use less than a tablespoon, just enough to keep your eggs from sticking. Then you just scramble your eggs. So once you've scrambled your eggs, you just want to set them aside while you mix the rest of your ingredients together. You don't have to get everything out of the pan, just most of your egg. Then you're just going to drop the rest of your stick of butter in the pan and let that melt. So once your butter is melted, you're going to add your rice. With your rice in the pan, you're just going to stir it around. You just want to coat the rice in the butter. Once your rice is thoroughly coated in the butter, I like to kind of just make a well in the center of my rice and add in some frozen peas and frozen corn. And I just add these straight from the freezer. You don't need to thaw them at all. So I've added about a cup of each, both peas and corn. You just mix that in. You kind of just keep stirring it until the peas and corn are heated. Okay, so I stirred my peas and corn into the rice until they were heated through, and then I stirred my cooked egg back in along with the green onions. And once this is thoroughly combined, your dish is complete. And that completes my fried rice. I serve it with teriyaki sauce or soy sauce, and whether you serve it as a standalone meal or a side dish, it's simply good.